Hello and welcome to the TI Junkies podcast. This is Speedy, and we are talking again about the, let's say if I can say it, SCPT Intergalactical tournament that took place in Los Angeles at Geeky Teas in Burbank. How was that, Kevin?
That was excellent.
Thank you very much. That is our good friend, Kevin, a.k.a. Drago Thaxton, who participated in the finals of this tournament. Kevin, how do you feel?
I feel so honored and surprised that I made it to that game. I was actually when they went through all the names of who was going to be. One, they went through all the awards for who won what. Like Rand won fastest game. Yes, because she was fastest player of the weekend.
Yeah.
There was other things that went on. I can't remember the other awards, but they gave out minor awards for those things, like superlatives essentially. And then they started naming off the people. And when they named Wild One as the one that barely missed, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm certainly below him. Like, there's no way. So I'm literally recording this on my phone, thinking there's no way my name's about to be called. And then they announced the two people that were two-time winners. And then next person up was me. And I'm like, wait, what? What? So then the video gets really awkward, and it's like me running up and like holding it towards myself, freaking out. Because I didn't know I was going to make it, let alone I was seat number 3, which is wild. And I was so shocked and so happy that I then, rather than hanging out to sit there and watch people use my Twilight Imperium kit, because it was my game that we played with, I was actually going to be playing in it. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a shock.
Man, and to go back to what we talked about in the previous episode, there was a very particular super secret scoring criteria for how they selected who made it to the final, because there was a large number of people that got very, very close. I mean, of course, if you won both of your games on day 1 and day 2, of course you're making it into the final. But there were a lot of people, there are a lot of people that won one game and got 9 points in the other game. And how do you decide who goes from that group of people?
Which is, so, and there was other people just as close. I know Matt was right on the doorstep right there too, because he played so fast and so well. So that's why I was so shocked, because I remember talking to Matt, like, Matt, you for sure got it. Like, you won your first game and you were second and so fast on the second day.
Oh my gosh.
And another reason I was so shocked and why I was recording not knowing that I was going to get called. Some sort of algorithm went into people making that table, and I'm happy that I was lucky enough to be one.
Yeah. And now let's talk about the game itself. First of all, let's talk about you picking your faction. You went with Soul.
Yeah, I was third pick. The juicy pick at the table right off the bat, everybody saw, was Cabal in their slice. That was pick number 1, and it went rightfully so number 1 overall. And then second pick was Extra, because their hero, there was the pool overall was Cabal, Extra, Soul, Mentak, Arborek, and Winu. So there was definitely, when you look at that list, there's definitely a power balance of top 3, bottom 3.
Yeah.
And in terms of just like what people like to play, gravitate towards, and what the meta says is a better faction. And so Cabal was number 1 due to just their slice, because they had 6 influence on the path to Mechatol, and all they had to do was put down 1 structure, and they're getting Mechatol round 1.
Oh my gosh!
With a Diplo pick, so it was really easy for them to get Mechatol, and that's why they were the hot pick. And then second, Extra being with their hero and just being kind of like a slow go but powerhouse if left unchecked. They were number 2, went to El Blasto, and then I was third pick. And what's funny is I'm standing there looking at the board, and I don't know if this part was streamed or not, but I'm saying to myself and kind of out loud, Mentak or Winu, Mentak or Winu, Mentak or Winu, and then went Soul. And so I should have gone with one of them, because I like playing both of them as a plucky player at the table. And I should have gone with the momentum that I felt like I lucked my way into that finals, and I should have just tried to YOLO it on one of those two and had a good time. But went with Soul because of, one, I just know they're just a good base faction and play, and the slice seemed okay. So from there, I went Soul, and then I think after that was Mentak, then it went Winu, and then it went, went Arborek, and then it went Winu. Winu was last pick, and they had Speaker.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was cool. And everybody at the table was awesome. It was me, and to my left was Ian, who was playing Mentak. El Blasto was Extra. Anna was Winu. Simon was Arborek. And Yamino was playing as Cabal. And he was the well-dressed. He got best dressed for sure. He showed up in a suit and tie. It's kind of an unknown story, but I think the main reason he did that was day one, he was wearing just like a jersey and some slacks and kind of just like, very casual clothes, and he won. So then the next day he showed up in a button-up shirt and some slacks, no tie, rolled sleeves. He's there to do some bit, kind of look like a politician doing a stop on a tour. and then after he won that game, Patrick went up to him and said, you have to wear a full suit tomorrow. Like, that's the evolution you're on. So Patrick actually, I think,
he
pushed him in the direction.
Seed?
Yeah, and then he showed up in his Sunday best. And,
no way.
Yeah, and and honestly, he played a great game. Me and him had a really good time. We were across the table from each other. I think there's a few moments where we look at each other, and I know we made Hunter laugh on the other side of the glass a few times. And yeah, it was another good table, good player. I think everyone there was just very happy to be playing in the final day.
Yeah.
And no one was being really mean to each other. It was a lot of good.
That's good. I feel like on the third day, you've been playing TI for 3 days straight, and it's ultra competitive. You are either exhausted and just happy to be there, or you have fought so hard that you're bloodthirsty and you just stab each other.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it was the former rather than the latter.
Yeah, it was a good vibe all day.
Good vibes. Maybe the key to a good game of TI is a bad night of sleep.
It might be. It might be. You walk in with a chip on your shoulder. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mia's soul in that game was a roller coaster because I had to take politics like 3 times throughout the game, and I was only able to sell it like 1 time, and timing didn't work out for the sale to normally get Speaker away for the normal deal, and I don't think I scored round 1, and then in round 2 when I'm Speaker, I was setting up to go for my early Mechatol point and take him with Imperial, and then get in and get out, and I talked to the Cabal player, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get out of the way. And then he doesn't get out of the way first turn. So I'm like, hey, dude, I'm sorry. I have to go in. I don't want to kill any things, but let's go. Move in enough. I get the planet. And then it's not a great force on Mechatol, but it's enough. And so I get there, and then Winu's like, hey, I'm going to unlock my commander. So they launch a destroyer into a combat against my forces in the space. She's doing what she should, thinking it's going to be a harmless fight where she just gets to, unlock her commander. But really what happens is that lone destroyer with that +2 goes on a epic run of annihilating my fleet. And I am left with a single carrier in the air after having, I think, maybe a destroyer, a cruiser, and like some fighters.
Oh, wow.
And I just somehow don't get a hit. And
wow.
Granted, they're hitting. It's hitting on a 7, so it's hitting better than anything I have besides the cruiser. So she chips away through that, and then Arborek sitting there adjacent to Mechatol, licking his chops. I think he had Primor as Arborek, which is wild. They kind of gave the I think the thought of the map was they kind of gave every faction the thing they need to go off.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I think, that thinking of like, hey, we're gonna give you just what you need to get going. For what you're missing. Cabal got Influence, Arborek got Primor, Winu had a Gravity Rift if they wanted to rift it.
Wow.
Xtraw had like a bunch of planets. Mentak had ways to be neighbors with a lot of people with like wormholes and stuff. And honestly, with Soul, I don't know what I got, but I'll have to get back to you. If someone knows, please DM me what that slice was good for Soul. It was just some good planets and basic stuff, which is kind of what Soul is. It's basic vanilla TI, but plus.
Right. And perhaps that is the thinking. You just have some good place to plant your troops and take root.
Very true.
But definitely less flashy than the other things.
Yes, very less flashy, less evident. At least. And then so Arborek's licking his chops. He comes in and wipes me off Mechatol. And I remember looking at Simon and going, Simon, I wish you would have just told me you were going for Mechatol. I wouldn't have gone for this. I would have saved all my plastic. He wipes me off Mechatol. So there goes my custodian point or Mechatol point off Imperial.
Wow.
That's first punch in the face.
That hurts so much because you you could have gotten it, but you just were wiped before you could.
Literally, I think next turn I would have had it. I was going to pop it for the objective or the Imperial.
That hurts really bad.
It does hurt really bad. And then, so later I think, okay, wow, that's a tempo hit. So then I just start, okay, I'll pull a secret, whatever. My secrets were garbage. I wish I remembered with them, but they were pretty garbage all game. I got 4 hazardous, and that whole slice, if I remember right, was all cultural. So
oh no,
pretty terrible luck on that. But so I managed to get through that, and then I'm set up for another Imperial take later with the first stage 2 coming out, and it's adjacency on edge systems. And I talk to the table and I say, hey guys, I'm going to score this early, and then y'all can feast on my corpse, come in on all the edges or the empties, whatever. I think it was edge. And or was it empties? It was empties or edge, one of the E's.
Yeah.
And it was 5 of them. And I'm like, y'all can feast on my corpse, come in, take it all, whatever you need to do. And it was edge. Sorry. It was edge because I Diplo-ridered to have malice and no one could come get it. So that locked down one of them.
Okay.
So I had a bunch of other edges and people were going to come in and take them. And then just the turn before, I'm going to pop Imperial, get my 2 points off of that. I leave the room to go do a sidebar with Anna or something.
While you were out of the room?
While I'm out of the room, I'm talking to Anna, and I happen to hear Hunter, who's talking on camera on the stream, because you walk by him as you leave the room. He says, like, oh, El Blasto pointing out Drago has tempo to win this round if everything goes right. And I'm like, oh crap.
No.
So I come back in the room, and they're already looking and pointing. And then Cabal looks at me and goes, sorry, I have to stop you. And I'm like, dude, what my argument was, no information had changed from when I talked to the table. Everything was very evident, and it wasn't until El Blasto pointed out I could score. I get that that's his job to point out the guy that's going to win, who could win. My secrets are pretty garbage, but I did have a shot with like support swapping and certain things that I could have done it, and that would have been around. I think we got a incentive program, so it was around 4. It would have been a round 4 finish.
Impressive.
Yeah. So I was stoked on that. And then that clapped me back, and he took away one of the edges, and I was knocked off all that tempo. So then I was forced to go 2 stage 1s, which took away a lot of my steam. And then I'm sitting there going into round 5, and it's me and Ian, who's Mentak, like tied in the back of the pack as the other 4 are blazing ahead. And there was still this one glimmer of hope that I could squeak this out, but it was going to take a lot of help and a lot of luck, and I didn't get either of those. Ooh. So I ended up tied for last, I think, with Ian. But I did at the end of the game when El Blasto won. Congratulations to El Blasto as extra.
Yes, congratulations. Yeah,
you're going to go on to win the whole thing, I hope, whenever the final is that they have.
Yeah.
But they needed a runner-up in case he can't go. So what they did is they did a clown fiesta between the people tied for second place to see who would be the runner-up in case he can't make the final for some reason. So they start flipping stage 1s to see who can score, and I was kind of following along. And had I been tied, I'm pretty sure that I would have been the runner-up.
Wow.
Just for because I was the only one that had money in the last round, and like the one that no one could score was spend 5 trade goods, and I would have easily done that. So it was a game of just getting kind of punched in the face by the TI god luck, and it was out of my control. But I'm glad I was able to even compete at that game. It was no ragettes, as they say.
Yeah, and to me, it's so interesting, all the different dynamics that affect a game of TI. So even at the highest level, you can be playing your best game, but if the TI gods decide to slap you in the face, sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, the 7th player says no. And, turns out they're the most powerful faction all the time.
It's true. Man, that hurts. And truly, I mean, a game well played, congratulations, because to think that you were such a threat and there could have been a round 4 ending to this after you had been point blocked on Mechatol and point blocked elsewhere. I mean, you were playing a spectacular game. You really were.
I tried to do the Junkies proud and try to take it, but yeah, it was a group effort by the table or a few people to stop me, and it was the right play. I would have been doing the exact same thing. You've got to point out the other players' tempos to pull heat away from yourself, which is exactly what El Blasto did, and he ended up winning the game. So it's a definite move in the game to do that. I'll say, outside of playing in that final, one of my favorite things I was doing, and on maybe why I lost focus at some points during that game, when I left to go to the bathroom, I was stopping to check in on those 2 games that were playing outside the room because I was interested. I was like, "Oh, what's going on in this game? Who's winning here?" Like, because I'm a junkie. I want to know all the games, and I was like always a few seconds later than I would have been running back to the table from the bathroom or getting water because I'm asking about these other games and seeing who's winning. Like Nate was playing, I was like, "What's this one?" And they're playing some crazy rules where you get tech or whatever it may be. So I was there for the vibes. And luckily had a shot to win along the way.
Yeah. I remember you stopping by my table, and I thought it was so funny that you were in the high pressure, heated final, but you were like, "Oh, what's happening over here?" And and I think you told me good luck with my game that didn't matter for anything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, "Good luck me, good luck you."
Yeah, it's all the games are important, right? They're all fun.
Exactly. Do you have any, I guess, final takeaways from your tournament experience?
Tournament experience on the whole was great. I really hope that they do one close enough at the bare minimum that I can make it possible to make it to it, because I would 100% do this again. Just props to SCPT for putting that together, and I think it's so cool that they're doing an in-person countrywide tournament, and the ambition is to take it worldwide. Which is even cooler, to have an in-person worldwide champion for this dumb game we call fun.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful thing. And even just to realize how many players are here locally that I didn't know played this game. Now we've all met each other and we're all talking about, oh my gosh, we have to meet up for a game. The hardest thing to do is to plan getting together a group to play TI, because it does take all day.
It does. And the more people you have, the more likely you are to get a full 6-player game. So
exactly.
I love that we have all these contacts now, people I would have never met. And now we get to, I think the Junkies roster is just starting to grow, and it's going to be real big.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. And then imagine when this tournament does go global. Can you imagine you're going on a vacation to Italy, and you've met enough people that you can play a game of TI on your trip?
I want to get yelled at. I want to get told I'm a stooge in Italian. That's like maybe now a bucket list item of mine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what is stooge in Italian? Stugio. I don't know. That was racist. Sorry.
English to Italian by Google Translate says stooge is pronounced stooge.
Stooge. Predictable. Okay.
Oh man, that's so funny. Master is maestro. So
stooge maestro.
Yeah.
Wait, I love stooge maestro.
Or maestra.
Maestra?
For those maestro, whatever you may be.
Whoa.
That might be your new favorite, stooge maestro.
Yeah, I think we've just evolved the jargon. We're all going to start saying stooge maestro.
I am no longer a stooge master. I am a maestro. It has become an art at this point.
Yeah. Maybe that's the next level up. You're a stooge master at first, but if you've really honed it, maestro.
Maestro. I love it. It would be great to be at a table with 5, if I am so lucky to ever do that and make it to the world finals, to be yelled at being a stooge in 5 different languages would be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, when they talk about Nirvana, that's what it is.
Yeah. Put it on my tombstone.
Yeah. Stooge in 5 languages, etched in.
Put it on my resume.
Yeah.
Got a doctorate in stooging.
You're on your way. Well on your way. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Thank you so much for telling us about your tournament experience in the finals. And thank you again to Space Cats Peace Turtles for putting this on.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And sorry for any names I said wrong or any details I may have fudged. That's the stooge in me.
That's the stooge. We're trying to keep the mystery alive by just lying every so often about what really happened. So if you really want to know what happens at a tournament, you'll just have to participate next year. See it for yourself.
Exactly that. You gotta show up to get the real info.
That's right. And thank you for tuning into this episode. We will catch you on the next one.